Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Setyowati. I'm from Pamulang University. Today I'm going to tell you about novel. Oops, sorry. I will review this novel. The title is Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman. In my point of view, in novel Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman has interested plot on his novel. The story taught the audience the past accident of the main character, which made me curious to catch the storyline. The novel about queer genre that show issue about the love story of Elio Perlman and Oliver, who have queer bisexual. According to Great and David 2013, how having recent male and female partners ought to figure into conceptual definition of bisexual. The story of Elio and Oliver, two young men who spent a summer together on northern Italy and developed a bond that shaped their view of affection for the remainder of their lives. Elio is 17 years old who spent summer along with his family, while Oliver is a handsome young man, 24 years old, postdoctoral scholar from America, who invited by Mr. Perlman, Elio's father, and he will help Mr. Perlman to revise manuscript for publication, and aiding Elio's father, Mr. Perlman, is himself an academic with his paperwork. Call Me By Your Name could be a story about obsessive love, the passage of the time and life-defining memories. The desire that Elio feels for Oliver is without delay of overwhelming, elegant, sense stronger than any he has felt before. But he finds himself unable to specify his feelings or speak about them with anyone for fear of shame and rejection. Elio and Oliver find common interest in literature, music, philosophy, and exercise. A friendship blooms between them. Elio admires Oliver's confidence and self-possessed attitude, including Oliver's criticism, his vice, his relation, and his identity as a judgment. The latter makes robust impression on Elio, whose family is additionally Jewish, but who makes some extent of keeping quiet about it during majority Catholic country. Oliver's confidence on this matter emboldens Elio and makes him feel that Oliver may be his soulmate. On Sunday, Elio confession of his attraction. Oliver begins seeing a neighbor of Elio's named Chiara and Marzia. They share variety of dates and crushes. Elio reflects on his attraction to both Oliver and Chiara and appears for signs that their relationship is sexual, both to his excitement and frustration when he attempts to speak to Oliver about Chiara, seemingly in favor of their relationship and trying to line them up. Oliver shut him down, declaring later that he is not curious about her. At the identical time, Elio's parents begged him to spend longer with friends and luxuriety in his yacht, trying to argue his mind off his desire for Oliver. He began spending time with a lady on his age. The name is Marzia. Elio and Marzia dates are sexual but not romantic, and Marzia keeps a very emotional distance from Elio, seeing through his niceties to gasp that he is not actually fascinated by her. On a visit to nearby town, Oliver kisses Elio to appease his desire, but he wishes to not go any longer for fear of doing anything that will make them feel ashamed. Elio contends a hard time reading Oliver's intention, but Oliver conceals his own desire for Elio out of shyness and fear of getting his own emotion entitled. And as Oliver fellowship unfolds, at the end, Oliver and Elliot take a visit to Rome, where Oliver will spend his last 3 days in Italy. They spend a romantic vacation, spending one night about the character of desire as universal human experience. Elio becomes too intoxicated and vomits in a very square. Oliver helps him recuperate, and that they sing Neapolitan song with a stranger on a street. Elio's memory of kissing Oliver on the square becomes his favorite memory of Oliver for the remainder of his life. And then he tells Elio that what he had with Oliver was a special, rare occurrence, something he himself never found in his life. The next year, Oliver, after Oliver finished the Revis manuscript, it's about several years. Oliver marries a lady and goes to father that have 2 children. Within the years that follow, Elio continues to reflect on his experience with Oliver and sees it is a fulcrum around which the opposite romantic experience and in his life revolve. And Elio and Oliver cross paths again and replacement England College, where Oliver teach. His boy knows teenager, they share drinks and reminisce. And after it's about 20 years after the event of his summer with Elio and Oliver, and after the Mr. Bellman death, Elio's father, Oliver has overnight occupied the villa on the way to different Italian city. They meet again, Elio with Oliver. Elio walks Oliver through the villa and that they think on his father. Oliver tells Elio that he's rather like him, that he remembers everything. Elio concludes by wishing to inform Oliver that when he boarded his taxi the subsequent morning, if he truly is like him, he should hold his kiss and call him by his name, even as he did on their first night together. In this novel, Andre Aciman thought both Oliver and Elio feel sexual attraction to both men and women. Elio's coming-of-age story is as much a discovery of life-defining love as it is a discovery of his sexuality, and as the novel progresses, his relationship with Oliver depends and he gains insight to the human nature of desire. He recovers memories of his adolescence in which his attraction towards men began to manifest. The novel is a treatment of bisexuality in the way that is portrayed. Elio and Oliver desire and love as something that transcends sexual preference. Sexual desire is something which several characters in the book's experience and ruminate on. By the book portray this unifying quality of the human experience, making no distinction between hetero or homosexual. Okay, I think enough for me, and thanks for watching and attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.